Hi, this is Mashnu. Perhaps you have seen on my website that I posted this position with the question how to achieve a draw with white here. It's a very beautiful study from John Nunn's book Endgame Challenge. So I'm going to give you the answer now, the solution to this exercise, to this endgame study, as we call it. What we see here is that black only needs one move to promote the pawn from c2 to c1. So the question is how to prevent this, because if black gets a queen, he will win. It's not very difficult to draw the conclusion that we need to control the c1 square with the bishop from c7. We could achieve this, for example, by moving the bishop to b6 and then to e3 with a check, or by moving the king away to bring the bishop to f4 with a check, controlling c1. Let's have a look at some variations. What if bishop to b6? Then what follows is king to e1. If the bishop goes to e3 now to control c1, black can place his bishop in between, and after this the pawn will promote. So this is not sufficient. Now let's have a look at the other idea of moving the king to g4. Now white wants to play bishop to f4. There is nothing to place in between, so what black is going to do now is to play the bishop to d4. So if bishop to f4, then the bishop again can be placed in between the king and the white bishop, so the pawn can promote. So this is not sufficient for white. Black wins. Still, there is a solution with a very subtle difference, and the correct move here is to play king to f3. I'll show you the variation. Again, the idea is to play bishop to f4. So again, black will play king to e1. After bishop to f4, black will place his bishop on d2. Now it looks as if we have exactly the same position as before, but there is a difference. In the second variation that I showed you, the white king was on g4. That means that the e2 square was available for the black king. Now this time it's not. So white can give a check on g3 now. The only move for black is king to d1, and now comes a very important move. The other bishop from c6 goes to a4, pinning the pawn on c2, and in the next move this pawn will be taken. So then the endgame of two bishops against one bishop is a draw, and white has achieved his goal. I found this a very beautiful study when I saw this, because with so little pieces there is so much to discover and to investigate. I hope you found this interesting. On my webpage I've written a short review about this book Endgame Challenge by John Nunn, and also a book from Averbach about chess endgames, but that's more about the more basic, the more fundamental knowledge that you need to know about endgames. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.